Welcome to Cosm Art Church. The 14th century Persian poet Hafiz famously said, "The subject tonight is love, and for tomorrow night as well. As a matter of fact, I know of no better topic for us to discuss until we all die." The theme of this art church is sacred relationships. During the pandemic, relationships have been both challenged and deepened. There are many kinds of love. This program will look at the perennial subject of love from multiple perspectives, focusing primarily on romantic love. We'll be sharing the presentation with a few special guest speakers. You may want a journal or sketchbook with you to make notes and drawings prompted by the questions we will be discussing.
True love is not a blind condition in a whirlwind of feelings, but a decision that's the result of reflection and commitment. By choosing love as a life path, we become ambassadors of a higher dimension of unity. If we can love ourselves, body, mind, and spirit, we can heal trauma, forgive our mistakes of the past, and strive to become our best self. When we find the source of love within, we are prepared to love another. If we have the good fortune to discover our beloved and develop a sacred relationship, the separation between partners dissolves in a holy space of oneness. We become a God self in relation to another God self. Our lover is a reflection in a sacred mirror. A love relationship with God is eternal. God loves like the sun shines, an everlasting source of compassion, available by aligning ourselves with the light inside of us. Prayer, meditation, journey work, and the creative arts are royal roads to deepen and maintain our connection with the divine. With a commitment to love, relationships give us access to divinity. God is love intelligence, the attraction that brings beings together to birth new realities. Symbols of sacred relationships are embedded in the icons of great wisdom traditions. The yin-yang symbol abstracts the principle of dyadic polarities, male and female, within Taoism. In Hinduism, the god Rama and goddess Sita dwell in the heart of Hanuman, the monkey god, and are the source of his protective devotion. Shiva and Shakti in Yab-Yum symbolize the union of sacred masculine and divine feminine energies. Yab-Yum means father-mother and represents the primordial union of wisdom and compassion, depicted by the male deity in sexual union with the female deity seated on his lap. In Hinduism, the lovemaking of Shiva and Shakti is described in poetry. The beads of perspiration from their lovemaking, these diamond beads, fly out, and each one is a multifaceted universe containing worlds within worlds of life. The worlds come into being through the passion and creative force of their love. The Dzogchen Buddhist teachings symbolize the enlightened state with an icon of naked embracing Buddhas. The cosmic lovers represent the union of transcendental emptiness, the blue male Samantabhadra, with the female Samantabhadri, who signifies all dimensions of form. Figurative portrayals of the gods depict the ecstatic bliss of the enlightened state. The sacred marriage of transcendence and immanence, formlessness and form, reveals all phenomena erotically interpenetrated by the timeless awareness. All individuals and couples can aspire to become their true and integrated selves by recognizing the marriage of their masculine and feminine natures, beautifully expressed in the love of the gods.
Behavioral, emotional, and psychological issues that have not yet been worked out come forward in an enduring relationship. In a context of love, every shadow can be healed. Sometimes the negative tendencies and habits of two people can be complementary. One person's strengths may be the other person's model of transformation. Many of us see our deficits compensated by our partner. One may be more technological, while the other plans more for the future. One may be more nurturing, while the other more adventurous. When both partners celebrate the strengths of the other, we feel appreciated for who we are. Demanding or wishing that our partner change to our way of liking is a tough road and may be a sign that change is needed on both sides. Sharing a committed life together has influenced us to open up and harness anger appropriately, to practice restraint and diplomacy. We consider ourselves better individuals through the influence of the other. Choosing transformation, we have practiced compassion, selflessness, acceptance, self-reliance, and interdependence. Because of our love for the other, our partner's annoying traits may actually help us flex our muscles in developing patience and acceptance. A love of peace teaches us to negotiate or to give up rightness and make us better, more tolerant people. Confrontation and negative spiraling persists when we deny our own pathology and project blame onto a partner. Truly, the trouble is not over there. When we experience trouble, we are either the cause or the victim. Being the victim means we're like a bug under a pin. There's no movement or transformation in thinking the trouble is over there. If we see ourselves as the cause, we can consider shifting our choices of behavior and response, including the choice to stay or quit that relationship. Or we can choose to give up our point of view, an opportunity to practice non-attachment, a Buddhist principle of aligning with the ever-changing nature of experience and the futility of trying to control it.
Key to an ideal relationship is feeling safe, sharing our emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual life without judgment or belittling. The happiest, most enduring couples are best friends who enjoy each other's company. They rely on one another for emotional support and spend leisure time together, sharing many things in common. According to the triangular theory of love developed by Dr. Robert Sternberg, there are three components of love: intimacy, commitment, and passion. Intimacy refers to feelings of closeness, connectedness, and familiarity. Intimacy denotes vulnerability, openness, and sharing. Vulnerability means letting our guard down, building trust, and becoming fully engaged in a relationship that avoids secrecy. Being vulnerable allows us to open our heart, to give and receive love fully. Commitment is the will to love another and to maintain that love. Commitment involves a conscious decision to stay together, promising to bring your best to the relationship, to be loyal and supportive. Disparity in the level of commitment felt by two partners is a warning sign of imbalance. Passion is the force of powerful emotions in our romance, related to strong amorous feelings, sexual desires, and lust. Whether or not a relationship works often depends on the aligned or divergent views of two partners, the importance of passion, and what level of intimacy and commitment works for the individuals. think for a minute about the intimacy, commitment, and passion that best suits your ideal love relationship.
Trust is essential in a healthy, loving relationship. A partner that is consistently able to be counted on to do what they said they'd do when they said they'd do it has integrity. Being reliable and personally accountable as a supportive partner offers safety and confidence. An unwillingness to share where we are or what we're doing may be a sign of betrayal that can come between partners. Maintaining healthy boundaries and sharing material resources helps a relationship. Regarding your ideal relationship, describe what healthy boundaries mean to you. Evolving as individuals is a function of psychological health and spiritual realization. Identify your personal goals and pursue them with intention and enthusiasm while sharing your challenges and successes with your partner. A healthy partnership means sharing ethics and acknowledging shadows. Divergent core values can come between partners. Denying or hiding our negativities is a level of unconsciousness and self-protection. Partners that pursue an environmentally and socially responsible lifestyle share goals that serve the world.
What are relationship deal breakers? How do you know when it's over? When communication is impossible, a relationship dies. Transformation happens in communication. Is there anything hidden that you've been holding back from communicating to yourself or to your partner? If partners speak badly of the other, either in front of or behind their back, love will not survive. When betrayal and lying persist, love is false. A beloved deserves the truth and deserves forgiveness. Addiction to anger, drugs, gambling, or trust-killing behavior is a deal breaker. Abuse in any form is a deal breaker. Isolation, like a partner who controls your contact with friends and family, this is abuse. All physical harm is abuse. All intentional emotional harm, name-calling, shaming, intimidating, this is abuse. Feeling unable to discuss emotional needs with your partner is abuse. Abusive partners can also be affectionate and dependable and have many positive traits. None of that excuses a habit of abusive acts. Persistent contempt is a deal breaker. Respect for our partner is essential. Can we learn from and respect the habits, behavior, livelihood, and point of view of our partner?
Love is the only sane and satisfactory answer to the problem of human existence, says the German psychoanalyst Erich Fromm in his best-selling book, The Art of Loving. In it, Fromm argues that love is an art, and just like painting, woodworking, or sculpting, It requires knowledge of its theory and practice. Many of us are led to believe that love is simply a matter of feeling, of being swept away by another person, where we experience a process of boundaries dissolving to reveal a timeless essence. This creates the idea that love is something that happens to us if we're lucky. But this is not conducive to a lasting relationship. Fromm argues that love is an activity, not a passive emotion. We do not fall in love, but rather we stand in love. And this standing requires skill and dedication. But how exactly is this done in a mature and healthy way? Well, to become a candidate for true love, we must first love ourselves. It is necessary for us to see, respect, and love ourselves if we are to extend that love to others. How could you ever love another as yourself if you do not love yourself? But in having proper love for yourself, it is important to not be selfish. Selfish people do not love themselves too much. In fact, it is the opposite. They do not love themselves enough. Selfishness covers our wounds that we feel too vulnerable to show and hides our inadequacies and failures. True selflessness and love for others can only be achieved through healthy self-love. Fromm reminds us that, paradoxically, the ability to be alone is the condition for the ability to love. Healthy love also promotes the preservation of one's own integrity and individuality while nurturing the same in your partner. Love helps us overcome isolation and separateness while allowing us to be perfectly ourselves. Fromm says that in love, the paradox occurs that two beings become one yet remain two. A relationship should not cause you to lose yourself, but rather to discover yourself. Relationship expert Esther Perel tells us that fire needs air. With proper space, the fire between you and your partner will burn bright. Lastly, it is important to put your love for your partner before the need for your partner. Immature love says, "I love you because I need you." Mature love says, "I need you because I love you." This practice of a mature, need-free love nurtures our independence, allowing the space for the necessary prerequisites of self-love and individuality. When we lead with love, all other aspects of our relationship are likely to fall into place in a healthy way. I'll close with a quote from Khalil Gibran's The Prophet. "Give your hearts, but not into each other's keeping, for only the hand of life can contain your hearts. And stand together, yet not too near together, for the pillars of the temple stand apart, and the oak tree and the cypress grow not in each other's shade." Happy New Moon, everyone.
Willa Cather wrote, "Where there is great love, there is always miracles." Our Cosm love story began in permaculture class when I was a seasonal volunteer, commuting across the continent from a tiny coastal rainforest village in British Columbia. Grace lived and worked at Cosm full-time as we activated our sacred relationship on periodic visits. We traveled through the UK together, visiting sacred sites, including the Chalice Well at Glastonbury, the stone circles at Avebury, and Roslin Chapel. At each location, we took time to creatively contemplate our future together. The pilgrimage culminated at the enchanted fairy pools on the Isle of Skye, where I proposed the beginning of a new chapter in our story, a sacred marriage symbolizing a bond of commitment, a creative collaboration designing our best life together. Since our wedding at Cosm on winter solstice in 2018, We've lived and worked together every day, spending 2 inseparable years as newlyweds.
Consider the teachings of visionary marriage counselor and author Gary Chapman, who observed languages of love, ways to express and experience love in relationships. According to Chapman, in order to be effective in loving people, we have to learn their languages of love. For any relationship, universal patterns emerge, whether relating to a romantic partner, family member or friend, a roommate or work colleague, even an animal or plant. Fostering loving relationships can bring joy and benefit to your life and enrich the lives of those around you. We invite you to write notes or make art that represents your own insights and intentions for deepening relationships using the languages of love.
One love language is the art of affirmation. Frank Sinatra noted a simple, "I love you," means more than money. Express love with words as if your language is a work of art. With conscious communication, conflict can resolve peacefully. Expressing love to each other every day, writing notes and making artistic cards, we let each other know we are thinking of them. Take a moment now to write something for someone you love, sharing what you love about them.
Another language of love is spending quality time together. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry said, "Love does not consist of gazing at each other, but in looking outward together in the same direction." Delvin and I spend intentional one-on-one time together every day. We share our successes and challenges while taking walks in nature or visiting sacred sites where we pray and meditate. Showing love to friends and family means spending time with them, virtually or in person. Write down the people who you would like to speak with or meet for a visit.
Giving and receiving gifts is another love language. Mother Teresa said, "It's not how much we give, but how much love we put into giving." I have a small gift or two swirled away to give to Grace when I know it will cheer her up or to celebrate a special moment. Who would you like to remember on Valentine's Day this year?
Another love language is acts of service. Dr. Martin Luther King notes, "Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others?" Being responsible for chores makes our loved one's life easier. Just to be nice, we can pitch in and do someone else's chores. What practical and supportive task could you do for someone who you love?
Another love language is physical touch. Charles Dickens recommends we have a heart that never hardens, a temper that never tires, and a touch that never hurts. Being physically affectionate by hugging, holding hands, and snuggling shows our love.
Ritual can also be a love language. Starhawk teaches that any ritual is an opportunity for transformation. To do a ritual, you must be willing to be transformed in some way. The inner willingness is what makes the ritual come alive and have power. Ritual practices build intention into our love story. Reading together and praying before we eat are rituals that build a bond. Sharing our intentions regularly and consulting oracles, we interpret their message together and learn about each other's vision for the future. What are some ways that you can build ritual and intention into a special relationship?
Instead of saving love for special occasions, share love every day, trusting that new and creative ways to express love will never run out.
Communicating our expectations and modeling the behaviors we want to see reciprocated in our relationships. We forgive each other and ourselves when we fall short and grow closer together.
Practice makes perfect. The more we behave with love, the more the habit is cultivated.
Heartfelt blessings to all who are upwardly spiraling in all of your sacred relationships. May 2021 bring the next level of your creative practice, cultivating the languages of love.
All sacred spaces are temples of love, places to connect with spirit. When a community shares a common understanding or language of spirituality, it's reflected in their temples. Visionary art is the language of Cosm's community because it affirms the divine imagination and mystical experience. Reflecting the luminous richness of the higher spiritual worlds, visionary art activates our light body. It empowers our creative soul and stirs our potential for positive action in the world. Thank you, global community, who has blessed Entheon Sanctuary of Visionary Art with prayers and financial support. It takes a community to build sacred space. Across the world, we find the others, those who have seen beyond the boundaries of skin, tradition, and birthplace, to find the cosmic spirit of love. The turned on, creative people with the natural knowing that art in all forms has the power to transmit the mystic state. By recognizing the divinity of all life and standing for peace, the global family of love shares values that transcend nationality and play a vital role in each society. Thank you for tuning into this art church on sacred relationships. The source of all love comes from beyond us, through us, to shine upon and uplift each other on our transformative journey together.
Tonight is the new moon, a time to set your intentions in the month of love. Happy Valentine's Day.
And may any merit generated by our gathering here tonight be offered to the benefit and liberation of all beings. Happy new moon, everyone.
Mwah.